Hello, everyone, and welcome to Birth Your Vision podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Kupoli. I am so excited today to have an amazing guest who is the award winner, Bola Obileye, the future food star of Gordon Ramsay. She's going to be talking all about her experience as an apprentice on the BBC show. And so I am so delighted for many of you who are actually joining us this evening from across the globe to come and really listen to the amazing experience that my guest will be sharing on today's show. So welcome. If you are tuning in for the first time, welcome to this platform. The purpose of this podcast is to actually provide resource for women in business and aspiring female who actually are looking for that inspiration, that guidance, and that support, and that tips on how to actually start and turn their visions into an idea or even a successful, profitable business. So every week you will hear from a remarkable, influential, trailblazing women that I will be interviewing. And so my guest today is actually from the Gordon Ramsay TV show. And let me tell you a little bit about who Gordon Ramsay is. He's actually a British chef. He's a television personality. He owns quite a lot of successful worldwide restaurants from the United Kingdom, France and Singapore and United States. And so with shows like Kitchen Nightmares, Hell's Kitchen, Hotel Hell, and MasterChef UK and USA, Gordon has actually become a star of small screen in the United Kingdom. And so my guest, Bola, who has actually competes for a life-changing investment of 150,000 in Gordon Ramsay's own money for her business in the BBC show. And so this show is all about future food stars. And Gordon has actually taken many contestants through a series of tests designed to actually measure their personality as well as their financial knowledge. And so, she's joining me today to talk about her experience on the show. And, she is actually a World Innovation Award-winning entrepreneur. Bola actually describes herself as a multifaceted queen, and I definitely do agree. She is a certified health coach. She is a trained professional chef, mixology, fashion, and eye design. These are just some of the titles that Bola sways between on a day-to-day basis, running FMCG businesses, Jitterbug, Sparkling Retro Pop, Cook and Tote London. And so a flagship product, Jitterbug Sparkling Retro Pop, is currently stocked in over 660 Holland and Barrett stores across the UK and many other stores such as Eat 17, Small Ford's Farm Shop, and also in Black-owned vending machine. So she's here today. Welcome, Bola. It's a real pleasure to have you.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here, Hannah. Thank you so much for having me. Wow, what
welcome.
Amazing description and introduction there. Thank you.
Definitely. You know what? My guests absolutely love it when I support them in terms of introducing them, because I feel like introduction is very, very important. And it's important that we're able to really get to know who our guests are. So I'm really happy that, you feel very delighted in terms of how I've actually introduced you. So I am so excited, actually. And I do want to kind of share, the trailer of this amazing show that you was on. It's really, honestly, it's really incredible because I remember watching it on BBC iPlayer with my family. And the first thing that we saw was you. We saw this amazing, beautiful, vibrant lady who had a lot of confidence and was definitely just full of life, colors, the way you looked, your hair, your makeup, your glasses, it was such an attraction. And I said to them that I actually want to interview her. That's what I said. I just dropped it like that. And everybody just said, yes, Mom, do it.
Oh, that's so kind.
Honestly. And they were like, Mom, do it. And then what happened is I saw you on a Zoom conference with one of my clients, being a business coach.
Yeah.
And immediately I was like, oh my God, there she is. I told one of my children. And immediately I said, right, I think this is a divine calling, to be quite honest. And I decided to kind of reach out to you, and here we are today. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. So kind of you. Yes.
Thank you so much for being an amazing guest. So, what I'm going to do is to actually just share the trailer to everyone, let everybody have a look at the trailer to see what Gordon Ramsay show was really all about. So, I'll just share that right now so that everybody can actually see the whole trailer itself. Here we go.
Push 12 food and drink entrepreneurs to their absolute limits. Across every challenge, I need to see you stepping up.
It's over-seasoned, we know that.
So you've over-seasoned it and you know that. Unbelievable.
Stop.
Stay away.
Who has what it takes to survive?
Oh my God.
Oh, and it's been my fault. Who will win by 150 grand investment? Absolute carnage. Who will be my future food star?
Shut up.
Start before you take the kitchen down.
Brand new Gordon Ramsay's Future Food Stars.
Oh my goodness, that just takes me back.
Honestly, that was really incredible.
What
Oh
an
my
experience.
God.
Yeah.
What an experience it was. Absolutely. So, you know what? I want you to kind of take us through. What was it that really inspired you, Bola, to actually apply for the show itself?
I think there's just a part of me that when an opportunity arises, I always weigh it. Is it worth it? What is it going to cost me?
Yeah.
And on this occasion, knowing who Gordon Ramsay is, I was like, oh my goodness, he's going to make me look so stupid. And that was all that I was thinking, that, oh my goodness, do I really want to do this?
Yes.
And then when I saw because they put a few adverts out saying, do you want to be a part of this? Do you want your business to be considered? And I think I just ignored it. I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then I got a phone call from I think the casting team saying that, oh, we saw you on Instagram, we saw some of your products, and we wanted to just ask if you were interested.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, they've called me. That means that they've probably seen something about my business that they actually like. And so I thought, yeah, why not? So I applied for it, and about 4,700 people applied. And it was just such an amazing thing to be selected as his top 12 out of 4,700. So that was a good feeling. So that was part one. Yes. So I ran it by my husband, and I was like, so there's this show, and we had a mini meeting in the house.
Yeah.
My husband was like, if I were you, I wouldn't do it. My son is like, Mommy, it's going to make you look stupid. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then my older son, he just burst out laughing. Yes. And I was like, okay, I think I have my answer. It's going to make me look stupid, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? That's what I thought, right? And I just decided to do it. Like, you know what? It's just my ego on the line. That's all.
Wow, that's incredible. I'm glad that, you still went ahead and do it anyway, regardless of what other people thought. And I could understand that definitely because of his character himself as well. It's almost daunting. Should I not? And so, there's a process in everything that we put ourselves forward for. So how was the process? Was it like for you on getting on the show?
It was quite a long process, actually. So there was a lot of, there was the casting, there was, because obviously the BBC are so strict, making sure you're mentally sound, making sure that, you can go through everything that they knew they were going to put us through.
Exactly.
So it did go on for a while, and I think it went longer than normal, basically because initially, the invitation to join and the casting, everything happened in 2019. Right. But unfortunately, COVID happened in 2020.
Yes.
So nothing could happen there. And then everything was delayed till 2021. So it just seemed to be such a long, drawn-out process that once you started, you were like, you know what, I've started, so I'm going to finish. So but it was quite long-winded. They wanted to see your products. They wanted to see how your product stacks up with other people's products around the UK, because he actually did want the top 12. It was
Yeah,
not just going to be about who you were. It had to be about what you were bringing to the table. We had to
absolutely.
send our business plan. We had to send everything to do with our businesses forward, because if you did happen to win, he was going to be putting 150,000 of his money in your business. So yeah,
Such a big investment actually from his own pocket,
absolutely.
which I think it's really amazing. It's about him inspiring other people because he also has his own story of how he started. And I think it's really important when we get to a level of success that we're able to invest into other small businesses to allow them the opportunity to expand and to grow, which is really amazing. So,
Absolutely. It's all about
absolutely.
sending the ladder back down, isn't it? You know, when you
Yes,
get to where you're going, like, each
yes.
one bless one kind of thing. So that was good.
Absolutely, indeed. So, how did you handle so many tasks and activities within the show? Because there is so many different things that you guys had to do in terms of the task and even the challenges as well. I
I'm
remember him
telling
jumping
I'm
off of the helicopter, one of the first kind of entry into the show, and you guys had to kind of jump off the cliff. So, how was that for you, though?
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I don't know if anyone would ever really be able to feel what we went through. It was
Yeah.
actually intense. For
Wow.
half of the time, we didn't have our phones, we didn't have access to, some of, our friends and family. So you couldn't
Yes.
even call a friend like, I'm about to jump off a cliff, should I do it? You
Yeah.
had to make up your mind there and then to sink or swim.
Or
And
swim.
in a way, I could see what he was trying to do, even though, like, on a normal day, there's no way you find me on a cliff. In fact, if you told me that we were going on holiday and you said it had anything to do with cliffs or jumping, I'll be like, no, my ancestors did not do that. I shall
Indeed.
not be the first. So it
Absolutely.
was really amazing because I found myself doing things that, were completely out of my comfort zone. And I had to do it. I just had to do it because I'd come out, you know what they say, you're like, I've started, so I'll finish kind of thing. So you really just had to find the strength from
Mm,
within to just pull yourself up and do the task. It was not easy, but it had
yeah,
to be done.
it had to be done, definitely. So, how did you actually feel to be part of the show? Because obviously there's different characters, different personalities. And what was it like for you, on a personal level, kind of being part of the show, being part of the group dynamic, splitting up into teams and working together and things like that? So how was it for you then to be part of that?
Um, for me, I've always seen myself as a team player. I've always seen myself as um, an asset to a group.
I
So
love
that
that.
was really testing for me because, in fairness, the groups I've worked with in the past have been maybe people you know or you
Yes.
choose. But on this occasion, these people were like kind of like placed in your space. And you didn't necessarily always like them, but you had to work with them.
Right.
And I think personally for me, I just put in perspective that, you know what it is. You have to get on with everybody as much as possible, but
Yeah.
you also have to still, try to make your voice heard. And sometimes that was really difficult because I like to think about myself as a peacemaker, but that
Yes.
didn't always reflect because sometimes it just felt like if you're like quiet within a group, people tend to
Yeah.
take you for granted and they think that you can't speak. So it really, really ruffled me because I had a whole lot of emotions that I'd never experienced in my life before, like, and just because you also didn't have um your trusted, you know, sometimes you have a friend that you call when someone really annoys you, not
Indeed.
because you're going to listen to their advice, but
Yeah.
because they just allow you offload, they give you
Right.
their advice, and then you go ahead and do whatever you like. You didn't even have that because
No.
when it mattered, you didn't have your phone. So you really had to dig deep inside yourself for
Yeah.
every answer. And it
Mm,
didn't always feel right because
yeah.
all through our lives, we've just been used to being able to contact a friend, call a friend, speak to a friend, speak
Yes.
to a hobby. And that was so
Exactly.
alien, and it was quite interesting. I think everybody needs to go through that, because you really really discover who you are, what matters to you, and what you stand for and what you won't.
Absolutely, indeed. I think sometimes we have to just find a way, when it comes to us, getting involved in different things and really find our feet. And I think that really allows us to understand our characters and our threshold in terms of what we can do, what we
Oh
can't do, overcome our fears and our challenges and stuff like that. So you definitely nailed it, and you did really well in regards to that. I mean, you definitely stood out in the show, to be quite honest with you. So that was really good, indeed.
I'm glad you say that, because at the time when I was going through it,
Yeah,
because I had so many odd emotions that I had never felt
right.
within myself, or I'd
Mm,
never ever been exposed to,
yeah,
it just felt like, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? Why did I decide to do it?
yeah,
You kind of like went through so much thinking that maybe it was a bad idea. Maybe I should listen to the heart. Maybe I
yeah.
should listen to the sun. Hey, it was too late. Go back.
Well, I'm excited that I did it, because that's why you're here today. We're able to see you, and there's an attraction in terms of, the way you presented yourself, and, seeing someone that looks like you, representation really matters. And thank you so much for being part of it, because what you've done is actually give other women who are just like you an opportunity to say to themselves, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. There are obstacles and there are challenges, but I'm going to step a little bit forward out of the box. I'm going to step out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to apply for this show. I'm going to apply for this job. I'm going to apply for this opportunity, and I'm just going to see what will happen. So that's what you've done, Bola. You've done that, and many other women in that show as well. So, congratulations to you for really
Thank
taking that
you.
leap. You've
Thank
empowered somebody else to do the same. So it's
well,
really
I
good.
hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So, can you give us a quick rundown of the show? Because obviously it was about 8 weeks, is that right?
Yes, it
Yeah,
ran for about 8 to 9 weeks. Yeah.
yeah, 8, 9 weeks. So tell us the rundown of the show in terms of how was the layout of the show, the logistics. Did it interfere with your business life? How did you balance and manage it all? So just give us a little snippet in regards to that.
So basically, once the show started recording, you had to be away from your family for however long you lasted in the show. So you
Wow.
literally had to pack your bags, your makeup, your everything, your life literally for 8 to 9 weeks, and plan to be away. And obviously, you come home as you get eliminated. So
Yeah.
as you can imagine, a woman like me had trillions of bags, like, oh yeah, I need that suitcase, I need these shoes. So it was really interesting to see my life in 9 weeks. I was like, that's a bit much. That's a lot of bags, So yeah, so that was the plan. So basically we all had like an apartment that we kind of like lived in, and you had to make your own food, which was supplied. We do our own shopping. It was actually
Yeah.
quite a nice setup, and the
Mhm.
apartments were quite nice. But
Yeah.
because we were moving around quite a bit, so filming
Mhm.
sometimes in Cornwall, in
Yeah.
London, we moved around quite a bit. But we had a nice apartment in central London, so it was quite nice. It was quite lush. You were not stressed in terms of where you were sleeping, or that kind of stuff. But it just felt strange because you were away from your family and your
Yes.
business. But we obviously had been warned, so you had to put things in place to make sure that the business was running without you. And we had our evenings to catch up when we got our phones back. But during filming, you don't get your phones. You don't get
Yes.
to know what's going to happen, which was actually the weirdest thing about it, because literally what you saw on TV was um, everything that happened, simply because we couldn't speak off screen. We had, so if, for example, you had a
Yeah.
bus stop with someone, or you were not getting on with someone, you were not allowed to speak with that person except you had a camera in your face. So you couldn't resolve anything at the back, like, okay, I'm so
Gosh.
sorry I spoke with you in that
Yeah.
manner. everything had to be done with the cameras
With the
on.
camera.
But
It's a
was
real life
crazy.
show, isn't it? Because people love drama, isn't it?
I know, right? So it was full of drama. It was we just oh gosh. And it just felt like you didn't know how to behave because you're like,
Yeah,
can I say this? Can I not say this? And
right.
you really want the other person to know how you feel about something, but you don't really want to come across too brash. You don't really want, but in the heat of the moment, the camera was in your face. So
In your
hey,
face, yeah.
yeah. So what
That's
you saw was reality, and I guess that's why they call it reality TV, because it was just raw nerves,
mm,
raw fear, raw 12 entrepreneurs that want that money so bad for their businesses that they were willing to like throw the next person under the bus if they had to. So yeah,
oh
and that was
dear.
pretty interesting to see, like, you know what, I want the
Mm,
money so bad that people are like, and you're like, oh my goodness. Yeah, it just kind of like teaches you a lot about life, human beings,
absolutely.
people. It's just really interesting. I'm glad I did it on hindsight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you did it because I'm sure it would have changed so many things in terms of your business and how you think. Well, I'm
Oh,
going to come back to that because I'm going to ask you some questions in relation to what is actually done for you, the show itself particularly. So what do you think you will remember about the show? Obviously,
I
there's
think
lots
what
of highlights.
oh yeah, I will
Yeah.
always remember like Gordon Ramsay like shouting in my face like, oh, like, he's actually quite adorable. This is the thing, right? He's really lovely. There's a really lovely side to him. And then there's this side to him, like when he gets business like that
Yeah,
just comes out that you quickly forget the nice bits and you're faced with this person that could
right.
literally change the trajectory of your business. And
Mm,
so there's and when you come to the realization of that and
yeah.
what it could do for you, um, somehow sometimes it gets a little bit scary. And
Mm.
I mean, look, watching it, you wouldn't believe that I haven't been able to watch the program. Like, I haven't been able to watch an episode twice
Haven't
because
you?
no, because the
Wow.
fear on my face, I never
Yeah,
seen myself in that light.
right.
I've always thought about myself as highly confident, highly, you know, and I
Yeah,
saw a fear in my face that
yeah.
made me respect me because it made me realize how much I wanted it.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it made me feel a bit vulnerable. Like,
Yes.
it's just a little bit of money. It's not going to change your life. You didn't have
Right.
to
Yeah.
cut glass with your face, that kind of thing. But yeah, it showed me a side of me that I didn't realize was there, which is a good lesson for me. But
Mm,
yeah, it's strange.
that's incredible. It's really funny how different situation changes us, and sometimes we don't even understand how to be,
I
because we're trying
know.
to wrap our head around the situation
Yeah,
itself and things like that. Definitely. So let's
absolutely.
talk
Yeah.
about the man himself, Mr. Gordon Ramsay. What's its real personality like, really? Because we've seen him on Hell's Kitchen and all these programs that he does, but obviously this is a different show. It's more of an apprentice kind of style. People have definitely compared it to Alan Sugar's show. I love The Apprentice myself. And so
Mhm.
we've seen Gordon in different lights. We've seen him very tough in the kitchen and no nonsense chef. But what is he like in real life, really? You met him face to face for the past 8 weeks. Give us a snippet of, what Gordon is really like, his character.
So the thing is, we didn't spend so much time with him. We
Right.
spent enough time to get to know
Yeah.
him. So I guess this is the whole thing that makes him a superstar, right?
Right.
So we'll cook, we'll do all that stuff, and he would like an enigma just appear like,
To show
it's
up.
coming, and all of us are like trying to get informed. But the
Yeah.
times that he actually would show up before the cameras go on, it was actually
Mhm.
quite adorable. I mean, there's certain things that he said to me that I'll never forget. He would just be like, Bola, your hair is immaculate. And that would just I'm like,
He's
I'm
definitely
gonna
right
put that on
about
a
that.
t-shirt, right? Bola,
Yeah.
your hair is immaculate. And he'll be like, oh my goodness, how many glasses have you got? He'll make like small conversation with you, and we'll have like the small chit chats. But the
Yeah.
minute the camera goes on, he becomes this other personality that we know.
Mm,
And if you like, uh, I don't want to use the word fear, but you don't want to be on the other side of him. But
yeah.
he's actually quite adorable. I can imagine how he is with his kids and his family, being
Mm,
that nicey, complimentary, encouraging person. But the
yeah.
minute he has to put on his work persona, trust me,
Mm,
he'll cut you in half if he has to, because it is what it is, right? So yeah, and the tricky thing is that it's hard for your mind to deal with, because
yeah.
in a minute, 1 minute he's like, oh, this is really nice, and the next minute is like, whoa, what did you
What
do?
is
And you're
it?
like, yeah, but on the whole, I'll say he's actually quite. I can imagine meeting him at, a party or a friend's place, and he'll be all really nice and lovely. But within the
Yeah.
workspace, you can imagine he's just going to be Gordon. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely, indeed. Oh, that's really good. So, the power of editing as well. Sometimes not everybody's
Oh
there
yeah,
at that time, but when you now go into the editing part, you see the whole finishing of the whole program or the project as well. Awesome stuff. So
absolutely.
now that you've actually worked with Gordon Ramsay, what would you do differently, in terms of your business, in terms of your mindset, having worked with someone like him who is very experienced, lots of restaurants and a TV personality. So what would you do differently?
I think one of the things that I did on the show, and I left week 3,
Mm.
which I felt, um, when I left, I was ready to leave at that point, to be honest, because I had missed my family. I
Yeah,
wanted to go back to my business. A lot of things that we did on the show was contrary to my personality. If I like you, I like you. I'm not going to like you 1 minute and try to throw you under the bus because I want 150,000. The
right.
show was putting me under so much pressure that I just really wanted to go.
Yeah,
And towards the end, I felt that I had learned enough about myself
yeah.
to go away proud of who I am as a person.
Mm,
I know my limits. I don't care how
yeah,
much money you put on the table.
exactly.
I'm never going to want to like see somebody else lose everything just because I want to win. Or I would never say something behind your back and then ask you to come and sit next to me. It just made me really proud of, because sometimes, we're really hard on ourselves.
Yeah,
Sometimes we say things to ourselves, and, we give other people a break, but not necessarily ourselves. We're like,
yeah.
oh, she's nice, she looks pretty, she's this and that.
Mm,
But when it comes to us, we're so hard on ourselves. We're like, you didn't wake up on time, you didn't do this on time. But that show gave me the opportunity to look at myself and say, you know what? You are a good person. It
yeah,
made me proud to actually come out of there saying that, yes, there are areas you need to work to work on as a human being. We all
mm,
have areas we need to work on, but it really made me proud that I never felt that I had to literally, like, no, it's just not me. Some people, it came really easy for them. They
yeah.
would they would cut you off, and they would say, oh, come have a drink with me. If I don't like you, I'm not going to have a drink with you. Everybody knows where they stand. So
Yes.
for me, that was a lesson. And then the other part was, there were certain things I allowed to happen,
Mm,
because one of the tasks we had where I was team lead was, I wanted everybody to feel a part of the team. So I allowed certain things that in a normal work environment I would not permit, because in the first place, those people would not even be in my workspace, because I would be the one making the decisions as to
decisions.
who I'm working with. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, it just made me realize that, you know what, when you hold something as truth, just
yeah,
hold it till the end. Don't bend, don't turn, don't, just because you want some people to be happy. And
exactly.
that was a reassurance for me, because obviously I lost on the back of allowing someone add this and that, which was cut out of the final edit. I was really annoying, but hey, it is what it is. And yeah, things like that happen. But for me, it was all about learning to always trust your inner compass, always
Yes.
trust who you are.
Mm,
Believe that when your heart speaks to you, it's bringing the truth that nobody else can. And yeah,
definitely.
that's the lesson for me.
Definitely, definitely. Yes, we're going to talk a little bit more about, the exit when you had to leave the show. So, have you noticed anything different in your business since the time you've actually left? And what have you done differently within that business? Any growth? What is it that is different a little bit more than before you went in the show?
Um, so many things have changed since the
Mm,
show has been aired.
yeah,
But prior to the show airing, I came out of the whole process a
yeah,
little trying to fix myself, realign myself, because once you come out of that, being away from your family, being away from your status quo, being away from how you normally behave, and having how many weeks to yourself to
yeah,
feel like you didn't behave well. I came out like trying to realign myself, like, you know, this is who I am. This is how I
yeah,
behave. It was really weird. It felt like you had to rehabilitate yourself in a way back to normal life. And I think what that did for me was it helped me respect my own opinions a lot
brilliant.
more, and not necessarily rely on other people to fit in to what you're doing. And it
Yeah,
also helped me love on my support network a lot more.
yes,
The people I ring, the people I respect, the people I just follow their Instagram because they put into my life. Because
mhm,
when these people were taken away from my life,
yeah,
perspective was not always easy. Getting perspective on things, and these are things that we take for granted. Just someone
right,
saying that, Hannah, you look amazing today. You have that regular person that
yeah,
would always fix you. I'm sure we all do that. Would always deposit something positive when you forget who you are. And it just made me appreciate the people in my life, my husband, my children, my
yeah,
friends, and me a lot more.
mm,
So, and the
sure,
changes that have happened, oh yes, luckily, and as a blessing from God, which had nothing to do with the show. Shortly after I left the show, we clinched the deal with Holland and Barrett. So that was like God saying, you know what, I got you.
yes,
I got you. And that was just amazing for me, because you come out of that show feeling like, what have I done? Can I really do
yeah,
this? You come
mm-hmm,
out almost forgetting who you are. And that was, really good for us to clinch the deal with Holland and Barrett. But since the show has aired, it's just been amazing, because people
mm-hmm,
recognize you, people
yeah,
want to take pictures with you. It's so weird. You're like,
yeah,
it feels really good.
yeah,
I walked past the pub, and that was it. There was this woman, she was like literally half drunk, and she was like, "Oh, I recognize you from the I'm like, "You're in no position to recognize me. You're drunk." So, but
yeah,
yeah,
oh,
so it's been a blessing.
mm,
I have to say that, what, on the whole, I came out feeling like I had no ego left, that maybe I should just leave town right now. I'm going to start a new life in Paris, right? But it's been a blessing. I'm glad I can raise my head up high. I put in my
yeah,
best. I wanted it really bad, but hey, it is what it is. And but I'm proud I did it, because more people know about my brand. I've met so many people that have come and told me that they've been to Holland and Barrett to pick up our drinks.
mm,
Um, and it's opened quite a lot of doors, and it continues to open doors. So I'm
fantastic,
really, really pleased I went on it. So I guess
mm,
this is the point where I say, feel the fear and do it anyway. Because
exactly,
yes,
yeah.
there is a price at the end. Even when you lose, you win.
Oh, I love that. Oh, definitely. You just dropped the mic there. Just got the mic right there. I really love that. Feel the fear and do it anyway, right? Because once you've done it, you've won because you've actually attempted it. So it's important that you still give it a shot, because you just don't know where it will lead. And the more you do it, the more you overcome your fear, the more you get better. And then the more you get recognized and get seen for what you are authentically good at, showing up and just being yourself. Definitely. I
Absolutely.
do agree with that. And thank you for mentioning the collaboration, because I think it's very important when we kind of get involved in different things, whether it's been on a TV show, whether it's been a
Mm,
contestant or being an apprentice, or, collaborating with other like-minded business people. I think that a effective collaboration is always important. And I'm really happy that when you came out of it, there was this amazing opportunity with Ollens and Barrett's in
yeah.
terms of stocking your amazing Jitterbug drink. I'm yet to buy one. I can't wait. I'm going to be taking a picture with it and I'll be tagging you, all right,
That
promoting the
would be
product.
amazing. Yes.
Promoting the product. So I have left a link in there for our listeners who can actually take part in our discussion. So please leave your questions in the chat and I'll be able to ask my guest. So what I want to do is just to show a little bit of presentation in regards to you telling us a little bit more about, the vision behind the Jitterbug and what really led you to kind of, start it really. So let's just do a little bit of a presentation and see a bit of your story. Okay. Okay, excellent. So if you are watching us for the first time, welcome. I'm the founder of Podcast Creators Network and the host of Birth Your Vision podcast. And so I interview amazing women from around the globe who share their powerful story and also showcase their business as well as promote their product and their services, whether you have a book launch, whether you have a product that you want to promote on our platform. Do get in touch with us. We have some amazing sponsorship packages to help you to be seen, to be heard, and to put you in front of an audience so that they can actually invest in your products. And so welcome to all of you who are joining us. Welcome again. I have an amazing guest, Bola Obileye, who is one of the contestants on the Food Star Show by Gordon Ramsay. And so for those of you who haven't seen or met Bola before, she's actually an amazing queen who is an award-winning entrepreneur. Bola describes herself as a multifaceted queen, and she is a certified coach, and she wears many hats. And, she's actually invested time and effort into, this amazing product, the Jitterbug. She's going to tell us a little bit more about it. And so for those of you who haven't actually seen the show or do not know what the show is, because we have a global audience, it's actually Future Star Show. And you can actually see Bola there. You can see a beautiful face right there in one of the pictures. And this is the amazing Gordon Ramsay, who is actually the co-founder and the founder of the show itself, the director. And it's such a show that really empowers other people in terms of those who are in the food industry to really kind of step up and put themselves forward and overcome the fear, because in the show there were so many challenges and each and every person has an amazing unique talent and skills as well. So the Jitterbug, now we want to talk a little bit more about it. And so over to you, Bola. Tell us a little bit more about this product. How can people get it and what inspired you?
So about 5 years ago, I had a health condition that meant I had to have surgery or lose weight.
Yeah.
I decided to opt to try to lose weight, read up all sorts of things online. This is like 5 years ago when apple cider vinegar was at the peak. Everybody was taking apple cider vinegar for everything. So my background had been that I just used to take a lot of sodas. Funny enough, I wasn't eating so much, but I just used to take so many like carbonated, sugar-loaded drinks. So one of the things that was very, very important for me to work on my weight was to find an alternative. So I used to make concoctions in the kitchen with sparkling water and apple cider vinegar, and I used to mix all sorts of things. And obviously I changed my diet as well.
Yeah.
And within 3 months, I lost weight from a size 18 to a size 8. And I'll tell you what, this change was so profound that I still describe it as finding my fabulous. And I always say that when I found this fabulous new me, it was like finding this new confident person that I never knew I had. I'd always thought about myself as a confident person, But there was
Yeah.
this new girl that was like, "Hey, I'm here." My husband would be like, "Oh, I think I don't like what you're wearing. Maybe you should wear something else." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I like it, so I'm wearing it." I'm telling you, the things I couldn't do, the things I couldn't say before, I just
Wow.
became this new person, and I wanted every woman to feel that way. So I
Yes.
started a business at the time called Skinny Cook, and I
Hmm.
was teaching women how to lose weight because I was like, you know what? If you need to find your fabulous, it's not always about losing weight.
Yeah.
There's some people that, are not even big, but have found they're fabulous. However,
Yes.
you need to find it, whether it's by losing weight or you need to just find her. You need to find her, girl. You need to find her. So that was my purpose with Skinny Cook. That let's eat better, let's do better for ourselves, so that you can become this woman that can change the world.
Well,
So that
yeah.
was how the journey started, and I came up with a drink that we called then Skinny Up,
Mm.
and we showed it at different trade shows and wanted feedback. And then I found that so many people wanted something like that, but they wanted it delicious. And because what is life without delicious food and drinks, right? So I had to go back to the drawing board to try to make it better and make it taste. And I had to think about it more. That what do I really want from this drink? And as you can tell from the way I look, I love the 50s,
Yeah.
and the whole vibe of the product is about being fun and functional. So I wanted a
Yes.
drink that people would enjoy,
Hmm.
but that also did them a lot of good. So imagine going to the store, you buy a drink, you're not even worried, you just pick up a can of something. It looks good, it makes you feel good, but guess what? It's doing your body good as well. That was the dream. And just because, Jitterbug back in the days in the 50s was a very high pitched dance. I wanted people to go away feeling like they became energetic and new people. And that's
Yeah.
how, we went through a few iterations, came up with Jitterbug. So that's the story, the long and short of it. So it
I
was
love
from
it.
my own experience.
Yeah.
But it's all about wellness, it's all about making people feel good. But for
Mm.
me, really, it's about every woman knowing that there's this woman within her that she just needs to unleash. However, you do, you must let this woman thrive. And I think this is the attraction I had to you, funny enough, when you spoke at Tracy's event. And I'm like, she
Yes.
just completely gets it. She just complete, I was like, sometimes when you speak with women about, you
Yeah.
know, finding this other person, people think that you're you're trying to make them feel it's
Yeah.
not confidence talk. I don't know how
Mhm.
to like it, but when people get it, they get it.
They get
Because
it.
we all always think that, yeah, I'm
Mm.
confident, I can go anywhere, I can speak. But guess what? There's this person that you haven't discovered that you need to develop and that you
Exactly.
can work on. She was not always going to show up like that. There's something
Yes.
that needs to birth her. And
Mm.
whether you need to learn from someone else, whether you need to go through an experience, she gets birthed because she just says she waits for you to actually become her or strive to become her. And this is what I love about what you do.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. And your story is so powerful. Many people struggle to lose weight. Many people struggle to balance their health and to eat right. And you've actually mastered it within sort of 3 months from size 16 to 18. I mean, from size
Yeah,
18 to 16
18.
within 3 months, helping you to just unleash that power from within and discover a whole new world. That's just incredible because you've actually just gone ahead and make yourself feel better,
Yeah,
and
but
really,
the way I try to balance it is
hmm,
that um it's not something that I would want any woman to feel under pressure to do. I
right,
was under pressure to do it because I
mm,
had a health issue that
right,
required me to save myself. And I
mm,
literally needed to save myself in a hurry. Otherwise, I would have had to have surgery. So
Right.
when people hear 3 months, they're like, "Is that healthy? Is that yeah, it was healthy for me. I needed to hold on to my life, but
Yeah.
I don't necessarily impose that on people.
On people.
That was
Absolutely.
just my own story, but I
Mm,
literally needed to save myself, and I'm so glad it worked out for me. And
mm.
because it worked out for me, I know that, and I've taken a lot of women through. I know that it's something that is doable, but
Yes.
again, sometimes you need to be in that space and you need to
Yes.
want it, because prior to my illness, I always would, like, lay back about it, like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm cool,
Yeah.
until my body started to fight me, and I literally couldn't hold food down, so yeah, it was yeah, I
And
had to
health
do it.
is wealth, as they say.
Absolutely.
Health is wealth.
Absolutely.
And so it's important that we look after ourselves, our body, and eat right.
Yes,
Absolutely,
indeed.
indeed. So I just also wanted us to honor the queen who actually won the show.
Yes,
Yeah, because I think it's so important that women honor each
Victoria.
other. It's amazing that you was also on the show with her. I mean, how was it being on the show with her, even though she was on there for a little bit more longer? What was your experience like with Victoria?
So let me spill the beans a little bit, and I know that you've got a worldwide audience, so but I'm just gonna share a few secrets here, right? So
Yeah,
when we got
go on.
in, just obviously because we're both colored, we gave each other a wink, like wink, wink, like, "Do you know what?" And we had this one to one. We're like, "I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're
Yeah,
here." And we're like, "Do you know what? We have to do this for girls like
yes.
us." And we just kind of, like, I just loved her from day
Yeah.
one. And
Hmm.
having said that, though, I'd known her, but I did not know she was going to be on the show, because I had
Wow.
seen her at another exhibition. And this is why
Okay.
we should always be nice to one another, right? Because I'd
Definitely.
seen her at an exhibition, and I saw her plantain chips then, and I just went up to her and I was like, "This is amazing, da da
Mm,
da. Let's exchange numbers. I'm also in business." And I took her number, and that was it. So we were not, like, in communication, but I'd met her before. And this
mm,
is why you can never ever discount the role that networking plays. So,
absolutely.
and prior to the show, they didn't share who was going to be on the show with us. Everything was in secrecy, more or less. So,
Yeah.
but when we got on the show, we recognized each other. And but it was really important to us that we brought to the table
Mm,
what, because we don't, and I was really proud of the BBC, because I think it mattered to them that they represented us, that no, that came out wrong, that
mm,
they had black representation.
right.
So, and I was really happy, because it wasn't just Victoria and I, it was Victoria and I, and there was Asher as well.
Hmm.
And it really just felt like it's a good time to be black. It's a
Wow.
good time to be black. And that really was a good feeling, because we didn't necessarily feel like, oh, we were there because we were black, but it was nice to be there because we were black. It's really a mixed up feeling. But
Yeah.
because in the past you wouldn't see people like us on those kind of shows. And it was important to us that we represented the black audience, because we knew that people like us, that prior to having this kind of representation, would look and be like, like you said, your daughter's watching,
Mhm.
she watched with you. When people
Yeah.
say that to me, my heart just goes, I hope I made her feel like, you know,
Yeah.
proud to be
Hmm.
black, because I have a 17-year-old son. And I remember in the early days how he was always not proud to be described as Nigerian.
Right.
And over the years, Afrobeats has brought so much change, to the scene, that now he
A global
proudly
change. Yeah.
identifies as, oh, my parents are from Nigeria. And I'm like,
Right.
Toby, what happened to you? So seeing that in my son, I knew it was important that we came out right. But Victoria, she's so graceful. She's so lovely. She's just sweet. You know, those sweet kind of
Yeah,
people. Yeah, it was just easy to fall in love with her. She was just
amazing.
easy. Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. And one thing just to add to what you've said, representation absolutely matters because we have young people watching. And, you know, to see a show such as this amazing show that you've been on,
yeah.
seeing somebody else that looks like me, that
Mm,
looks like my daughter, and we're both sitting down watching it as well as my other members of the family, it gives us the confidence, it gives us the boost, it gives us it opens the door that
yes,
I could do it as well. I can actually apply, and I
yes.
know that I will be part of the how much was it 1,700 contestant who put the application forward.
4,700.
Yeah,
And for us,
absolutely.
for
Hmm.
three black brands, and they're
Yeah,
not that many black brands to
right.
make it to the top. It should
Mm,
make us feel proud as a people that the
absolutely.
crop, you know how when we were growing up, our parents made us work 10
Yes.
times harder. They always said these things work, and somehow we owe them a debt of thanks because we work 10 times harder. Our work is at par, if not better, than people that didn't that had even more mentoring, that had access more than we did. Because the
Yeah.
problem that we've always had as a group is that as in black people in general, is that we haven't had as much access to mentoring. We haven't had as much access to knowledge that someone could pick up the phone and say, my daughter's coming to speak with you, because a lot of us are immigrants, and this goes for a lot of immigrants as well.
Mm,
But it's just really a good time because doors are opening for
yeah.
us. Businesses are out there to support us. People have spoken for us, and suddenly, I mean, I there's a program I'm on now and called Add Salt, which I'm a cohort of at the moment, and it supports black businesses to
Mm,
get into to work with the bigger brands. And I'm speaking with buyers from Sainsbury's, from Tesco's, and they're giving back simply
that's
because they
amazing.
know that we're a disadvantaged group in terms of bringing our things to the marketplace, and they're supported. So
Yeah.
it's so amazing. It's such a good time that I'm telling you, if you're a woman, you're a man, you're thinking of getting in business, do it now,
Do it
because
now.
we have so much support out there for us now as a people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, indeed. I really love that. It's so vital that we celebrate each other. And that's one of the reasons why I've created this platform. It's about honoring women and bringing them to come and share their business story, their brand story. And it's about also representing all women from all walks of life.
Yes.
It's about giving them the mic to speak, the opportunity to share so that others can be impacted and order
Yeah.
can actually take action. Sometimes
Absolutely.
it's about looking at other people and being inspired by what they've done, by their experiences, by their journey. So I'm
Mm,
totally inspired by you and by
thank
Victoria.
you.
So watch this space to all our listeners. There is a possibility that we could get Victoria on the show.
Oh,
So
you're going to love her. Victoria is she's
yeah,
just so lovely. She's just so cultured. She's just
yes,
so everything people don't see about us as women.
absolutely. And these are
And
Nigerian
she's just
queens
so
doing it. I am
not
so, so
that angry black woman.
yeah.
She's just lovely. I just love her.
Fantastic. Awesome stuff. So, congratulations to both of you, actually.
Thank you.
You are both winners in my eyes, and also the other contestant. The fact that you even put yourself forward, you're a winner.
I know,
You
right?
know,
This is what I say to all the 12
yeah,
contestants, that you know what? You guys are all amazing. 12 out of
yes,
4,700. Come on now. We should have a
absolutely.
group hug based on that alone. So, yeah.
Yeah, indeed. I think you've actually answered one of my question in regards to what advice would you give to any budding food entrepreneur? You've kind of said, do it now. Anything else that you wanted to add in regards to that?
Food, food.
Yeah.
Absolutely do it now. There's a lot of
Mm,
support. Speak with people that are already in that space.
yeah.
Um, Everybody's sharing knowledge. Just do it. Do it. You don't need to have all the answers. Some of the answers, some of the doors and answers come as you go along. Gain the experience. Just put yourself out there and start
Yes.
to be who you're called to be. Because guess what? Victoria has shown you that it is possible. It is
Yeah.
absolutely possible for every woman, for every man, for someone just exactly like you.
Absolutely. And, what is the last word in terms of any last words of encouragement to all our listeners who have tuned in today to listen to your amazing story, your journey on how you've become, an incredible asset to the show?
I think for me, my last words would be find your fabulous, whether it means hooking
Yes.
up with Hannah, hooking up with someone that gets it.
Yeah.
You will not always have all the answers. And trust me, we all need mentors. I have mentors. Hannah has a mentor. If you ask her, she'll tell you. But if you
Definitely.
need a mentor, find Hannah, track her down. I've looked her up and I'm like, she just gets it.
Yeah.
We don't always all have the answers, but
No.
do you trust who you're called to be? Be you 100%. Because
That's right.
when you're you, there's a special door that's waiting for you that nobody else can fill. Just you,
Mm,
just the way you are. Do it your way, but find someone that can hold your hand to be that person you were called to be.
definitely. There is this saying that says, be yourself because everybody else is taken.
Absolutely,
Why
yes.
try to be somebody else? It's not about looking at what others are doing, but it's about what do you want to do, right? And
Absolutely.
by the time you start doing what you want to do and being yourself, you become more in tune with yourself and you start to fall in love with who you're becoming. And so it's
Absolutely.
important. It's important that
Absolutely.
that you love
Yeah.
yourself because everybody else is
Yeah.
taken. Don't try to be like nobody else. Be you, which is
Be
very important.
you, love you, treat
Love
you
you.
good, cut
Hmm.
yourself some slack, just,
Yeah,
yeah, respect you. Yeah, it's the year of the
absolutely.
you.
Indeed, it's the year of hustle, isn't it? Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
It's really been a pleasure to have you on the show. I had lots of fun in interviewing you and also the process. How have you found the process on being a guest on the show? How has it been for you?
And I've totally loved it. I've totally loved looking up what you do, and I'm looking at ways to plug it in there
Yeah.
because I'm telling you, there's nothing like having energy. And I
Mm,
heard you speak, and I was like, I just love her. She's just so cool. Honestly, that energy that,
yeah.
stop burning your energy saying, oh, this person, that person doesn't like me. I'm
Yeah.
fighting back.
Like who
You don't need
cares?
all that. Just find someone with a lot of positive energy and
Yeah.
plug into them. You'd
Hmm.
be amazed how many people I know that don't even know me. When I lose perspective on things, I just go on their Instagram, look at
Yeah.
3 posts, and I'm fixed.
Exactly.
Sometimes we complain that we don't have mentors, but now
Mm,
our phones have made it so easy for us. Connect with people. Like Hannah's network is amazing. And I keep saying Hannah's network. I only just discovered Hannah's network a few weeks ago. And I just love it because you know
thank
what?
you.
Sometimes there's some people that just give you perspective. You come out,
Yeah.
you're upset with someone, and
Hmm.
somebody just posts something like, something so easy. You're like, I remember someone really cheesing me off so much. And I went onto someone's Instagram and they said, if this person was removed in your life or you heard that they died, how angry would you be? And it just made it so easy for me to forgive them. That no, 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 no. I'm just upset. Please don't die on me, kind of thing.
Mm,
Just get people that give you perspective, hold on
definitely.
to them and keep growing. Keep
Yeah.
growing. You might not win today, but guess
Hmm.
what? There's something waiting for you. When I came out of the house, I
Yeah.
came out feeling like I had lost, but there was a ticket into a bigger one door was shut, but 660 stores open to me. So
Wow.
every time something, seems like it's not going well, trust me, it's
Mhm.
leading you to something bigger and better. So
I
yeah,
love that.
trust the
I
process.
absolutely love that. Trust the process.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't want to trust the process because we're so much in a hurry to
Yeah.
get to the final destination. But to get to the final destination, there is a journey that comes with that.
Oh
If
yeah.
you don't start the journey, how can you reach the middle and the ending? There's always a beginning, and the beginning is the beginning of the journey. The middle is when you face a lot of obstacles. There's also lots
Mm,
of challenges that comes along the way, and also lots of great things that also happens as well. And then at the ending, sometimes you have a great happy ending, and sometimes you might not. So everything itself is a lesson, right? But whatever it
absolutely.
may be for you as an individual, enjoy the process. It's
Enjoy.
very, very important. So, how can our listeners reach out to you? Where can they plug in and connect with Bola online? Please share your social media handles with us.
Please follow me on my Instagram at Bola Obileye. Please follow the Jitterbug apple cider vinegar drinks plug on at jitterbug.life. And yes, those are some of the ways that you can get hold of me. So at Bola Obileye and at jitterbug.life, I'm quite active on both. I've got the fashion beat as well, but I think I'm more active on these two. So yes, a DM is always handy. I get there eventually.
Absolutely. Listen, everyone. I just want you to just go and plug in and just be inspired, because when you go to Bola's page, you will be inspired by the content alone. Is incredible. It's inviting. It makes you think and makes you kind of look at things in a different way. You know, she is like a light bulb, right? She just brings in the fun and really kind of shares amazing, vibrant content on her page. So follow her to be inspired. I always give people a gift when I finish speaking, and I tell them, I want to share a free gift with you. And my free gift is go to my page on Instagram and be inspired to be better, right?
Absolutely.
Because some of us are sitting on ideas, we're sitting on a vision, and we are not in any way being productive to bring that vision to life. And that is why the Birth Your Vision is birth, to bring those visions to life. Bola is here today because she has brought a vision to life, and she's been on a journey and she's sharing that experience with us. My question is, what is your vision and what are you doing with it? We are here to help you, to support you, to unravel it, to unleash it. So be in touch. All my contact details are in the chat. And so I want to say thank you to my guest. It's been a pleasure having you on the show today.
Thank you so
It's been
much.
an honor as well. And you've shared some amazing nuggets with us, with our listeners, and they've thoroughly enjoyed it. And so we've come to the end of the show. Thank you so much, Bola, for being an amazing guest. We really do appreciate you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you guys for watching.
You are
And
truly
yeah.
welcome. Yeah. So until next week with another amazing trailblazing guest, do join us and stay connected to all our social media platforms, and also plug into our podcast on all directories: Apple, Google, Spotify, and many more. So spread the news and spread the word. You know, Birth Your Vision is here to stay, and we are promoting women in business globally and locally. So if you have a business, you are thinking of writing a book, or you have a book already, you have an event coming up, or you have a product, this is the platform to showcase it to the world. Let people know so that you're visible, you're seen, you're heard, and people can actually, buy your products. So get in touch. We have some amazing sponsorship packages. Do let me know, and we can have a complimentary session to talk about what your needs are. So until next week, take care. Have a great evening wherever you're watching from. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Bola. Stay blessed.
Thank you for having me, Hannah. Take
You
care.
are welcome. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
everyone.
Bye.